You can't give what you don't have. When you are talking about integrity, you are really talking about the real person, who that person is.
When you talk of integrity, you talk of honesty. To be honest. And to be honest means to be trustworthy, to be truthful. And politics is science and art of government.
Politics is about the people.
Yes.
And if you talk about it in a deeper sense, it has to do with how people take decisions on how to lead themselves.
Hello viewers, thank you for allowing us to grace your TV screen today, and you are welcome to Christians in Politics. Today's episode, we shall be discussing youth involvement in politics. To discuss this interesting topic with me are Venerable Jehu Hunuaya, Director of Civic and Political Affairs, Church of Nigeria, and the Chaplain to the National Assembly. Daddy?
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Me again.
Thank you, sir. And I have a young man too with me. He's a very vibrant man, and his name is Mr. Azuka Ikeliani, a cyber security consultant. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, the development of youth leadership is about building civic capacity and long-term community sustainability. It is very evident that investing in the young generation of today is a way to harvest tomorrow's peace, democracy, stability, security, and sustainable development. My name is Korede Akitunde. Let the discussion begin. Venerable, from your home perspective, not possibly whatever definition you know, who is a youth?
Well, I will just tell you that a youth is a young man. Or if I want to be gender sensitive, a youth is a young person. Well, people have different definitions. We tell you, as of today, if I'm talking, we are coming from the perspective of the church. As of today, the stand of our church is that a youth is somebody between the age of 14 and 40 years. So if you fall within that very bracket, you are still a youth. Then you find some other organizations defining who is a youth in different ways. Some tell you a youth is somebody between the age of 15 and 24 years. I think that is the stand of the United Nations. And Africa Union adds a little to it. I think theirs should be between 15 and 35. So it all depends on the angle in which you look at it. But I prefer to look at it from my own perspective, that a youth is somebody who is still very young. A young person, still energetic in his earliest stage in life. Most of all these people fall within the category of children, persons that are in the university, and young graduates and all that. So why no particular age classification can be acceptable to all is the fact that even in my church now, I'm having some issues about this classification. There are some persons there who in their 30s have gotten married. They want to be part of the AYF because the age we specify for youth in Anglican community give them the chance to be member of Anglican Youth Fellowship. But the elders are telling them to come and join the men fellowship because they are married, they have children, they have wife and family. So it all depends on the age bracket of that different organizations are using. But for me, a youth is somebody who is still young, energetic, and ready to face life squarely.
Maybe I pass it across to someone we can see as a youth. What do you think constitutes someone that can be called a youth?
For me, I would say a youth, like Venerable said, is somebody that is very young, vibrant, educated, that is very active, strong, and people we are looking up to take the mantle of leadership from the old people.
Okay. Okay. What has been your assessment of participation of younger ones, as we've said, in politics?
No, it has been extremely poor. The participation of youths in politics has been extremely poor. And for the few who have attempted to participate, they did it wrongly. They were, if I'm permitted to use the word, just exploited. They were not really participating, because most of the youth you see who come out during political seasons are not really informed. They are not. Most of them are not really members of any political party. What I mean by they are not registered, they are not card-carrying members, but they just come out. People mobilize them, share no money for them, and they come out. They are used for any purpose. They can be told to block road. They can be told to be chanting one particular name, and they just come and start chanting. And sometimes they just give them T-shirts. They wear T-shirts and just celebrate the new T-shirts they are they have been given to wear, and hang their hope on the fact that at the end of the day of the rally or whatever political activity that was going on, at the end of it, somebody will give them 1,000 naira maybe to ask for transport, and from there they can get a change for their pocket. So that has really been the situation. We have not really seen true participation, because when we are talking about participation, we are talking about active involvement. A youth that should participate in politics, first of all, must be a card-carrying member of that political party, and must be part of the decision process in that very political party. He should understand the ideology of that very party. He should understand why he is there. He should, the picture about tomorrow, his own tomorrow, and the tomorrow of this nation should be very clear to him. And he should understand the people he's working with, understand their agenda, and his view should be heard. He should be able to bring out his view on every issue. He should be given opportunity to air his view. And that is the only way you can talk about real participation, active involvement. But you discover that over the years, the participation of youth have been just passive.
Drawing back to the church.
Yes.
Even from there, do we have a platform for the participation of youth in different activity? Yes,
that the church have a clear-cut platform for the youth. You heard me talk about Anglican Youth Fellowship. Inside Anglican Youth Fellowship, you have the Youth Star, you have other groups like the Sisters Guild coming up now, and so many other groups. We have organizations like Boys Brigade, which is meant for youth, platform for youth to participate actively. For instance, the AYF is very well organized, and their programs are clear. They have their prayer program, because we are talking about church now. They have their prayer program, they have their Bible study program, they do their conferences, they have their executive, they have their budget, they run their activities, and at the end of the day, they account for whatever activities before the main church. So the church have a well-defined platform for the youths, and to a large extent, they have been participating actively. It's our participation in AYF, Anglican Youth Fellowship, that brought some of us into the priesthood. We saw it on the platform of AYF. We're given opportunity to evangelize. We're given opportunity to be involved directly in administration. I was a general secretary before I became a priest. I was general secretary of my parish, Anglican Youth Fellowship. At the same time, I was General Secretary then of ACN, Ekpoma Archdeaconry, and ACN Ekpoma District then, and ACN Archdeaconry, which is now a full-fledged diocese. And I was holding the office of the General Secretary concurrently. So that was a way of preparing me for life, for re-administration in any organization. So whatever office you give to me now in any organization is not strange to me, because at a very tender age I'm used to meeting procedure, writing of minutes, how the meeting goes, and what we mean by collective responsibility in an organization. So and we were given opportunity to reach out to parishes, to minister, to preach, and to evangelize. So Anglican have a well-defined structure for the youth. Okay, and that is what is lacking in the political arena. That we have not seen, and not really seen, apart from just gathering the youth together to maybe come out en masse to participate in a rally, and maybe most of the time organize them to go and disrupt the opponent's rally and all those, or to carry placard and you share money for them. I'm not sure the youths have been properly integrated into our political system, and that their participation is enough as at today. Okay,
Mr. Azuka, do you also think the youth's participation in politics is not well appreciated?
Yes, but first of all, I would like to take it towards the political parties. Themselves, the political parties, ought to encourage the youths. I know in the various political parties, you have the youth leaders in political parties. So they ought to give the youths, the various youth leaders, a chance to participate actively in the politics, because we keep on hearing of youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But year in, year out, we keep on seeing the same old people coming in.
The tomorrow is yet to come.
It's yet to come. So as in making it, they ought to encourage them. The elders need to give the youth a chance, because if you look at, for instance, the National Assembly, for instance, you see somebody becoming a governor. After governor, he still retires to the National Assembly. First term, second term, third term, some of them are still there, and they are not making any useful impact in the nation, or making a useful impact in the National Assembly. Then if you look at the various countries that are making progress, if you look at them, take for example, you look at Singapore. We keep on hearing of how they progress and how Lee Kuan Yew helped them to achieve their economic growth. How was Lee Kuan Yew? How old was he when he started the vision? He was a youth. And he got to a certain age, he retired and handed over. If you look at people the nations that are making progress, you see that the people that are making the progress and had the vision are youths. Because if you keep on recycling the old people, the country will move. There won't be any progress at all.
No way.
A lack of awareness is also youth need to be educated. Most of the youth graduate from university. You say you graduate from you study political science. After school, then what do you do with what you study in school? Do you leave it and face other things? Because I believe that if you finish school and whatever you study, it's for you to come out to the country and make a positive impact.
Can you add more?
That was a very wonderful factor, talking about lack of awareness. Because you cannot give what you don't have. The youth need to be sensitized, and I think that should be one of the goals of coming here today to talk on this youth participation in politics. The youth need to know that their destiny is in their hand, and they need to know that whether you like it or not, who governs will determine the fate of others, and whatever is put into that very corridor will determine what happens in every other sector in the country. And so we need to tap into the experience of the youth. When I talk about experience, you might begin to wonder, has youth any experience? But today, we are talking about we are in a technological age, and there are many of the people you see out there, see their faces in television, see them leading political parties, see them holding sensitive offices, who are not even Y2K compliant. Some of them cannot relate with the gadgets that we have today. Some of them cannot fit into what is going on in our time. Whereas, okay, let me give an example. Do you know my child who is in the university can do more than me when it comes to computer knowledge, when it comes to electronics and all these things? Even though I'm trying, because I'm in a position I will call VR media now, I'm crossing from youth to adulthood, let me put it that way. But I'm already seeing that he himself is far ahead of me now. In every other thing. In every other thing, especially in all this ICT and in technological advancement and all that, so knowledge and all that. So the youth need to be aware that this is their time and they don't need to sleep and be waiting for somebody to help them realize their destiny.
But I noticed one thing, that youths in Nigeria are used for more of, maybe I would say the platform, like Variable said the other time, they don't have platform in Poland, but I think there is a platform.
There is a platform.
And the platform is go and disrupt, take this gun, take the cutlasses, take this. I think that is the platform in which the elderly ones have drawn the youth to.
No, I think I will not call that platform, because they are being used spontaneously. After each election, the youth you saw in the rally, the youth that were sent to go and disrupt other opponents' rally, to go and vandalize vehicle, do you see them again until the next election? They are completely abandoned. So they are used on ad hoc basis, and after that, they are nowhere. So I cannot call that a solid platform. If we can be talking of a platform when they are enshrined in the system. When, for instance, you say in a political party, if we are going to do so and so number of adults will be there, so number of women must of a necessity be there, so number of youth must be of a necessity be there. If we are going to elect people who will be in the corridor of power, so number of adults should be there, so number of chances should be given to the women, so number of chances should deliberately, consciously be given to the youth.
That's why I think orientation is very, very important. Orientation is very, very important.
Yes, I think because that's the basic thing. Orientation of people who take up this cutlass is personally very poor. Because if you know that the people that you are even collecting the cutlass, or you are collecting this 1,000 from, their children are abroad.
Not in Nigeria.
They are not in Nigeria. They are in abroad studying. They are doing something good for themselves in other countries. So there's need to be more of awareness for the youth to know. First of all, you have to know that today is your day, not tomorrow. Yeah. Don't let somebody begin to postpone your destiny, the realization of your destiny.
The leaders of tomorrow.
Leaders of tomorrow. Because some of the people we are seeing that are still gracing our television screen now in the name of politics, some of them, they thought we studied about them when we were in primary school. Some of them, in those days when in our village we go and gather to watch the only one television that is present in the whole village. Every person will go and gather there. During news time, some of the people are still seeing now are the people who were seeing.
And they keep on telling us that we are leaders of tomorrow. Why then they are still in the
so when are they going to give chance to the youth? Then that takes me back to the question you raised about some of the factors. This hold tight to power, sit tight syndrome of Africa leaders is one of the factors that is inhibiting youth participation, because the elderly ones have not consciously quit the stage and to give room for the youths to come in and participate. Until that is consciously done, then the youth will not have the chance or the necessary platform. Then another factor is the factor of money politics in Nigeria. Before you can come out into the limelight in the political arena, you must be a money bag, or you must have somebody who have money to throw around, who is going to act as your godfather. And most of the youth don't have access to such facilities. They don't have the money, because some of them have graduated, they have done their master's degree, they have never even been given the opportunity to work because there's no job. So where does he have money to
even vie for a
councillorship position? The new amendment that we are hailing now of the Electoral Act, I just flipped through yesterday, and I discovered as of today, for you to be able to pick a form, what they call interest. Yes, they use one terminology for
showing of interest.
Showing of something, showing indication of interest form or something like that. For you to pick it for councillorship election, you have to pay 150,000. How many? And you are talking to youths that have never worked, they don't have a job, graduated from the school. And how will he get the money? As small as you think that 150,000 is a huge amount of money. I know of a youth who have discussed with me not too long ago. He wrote a book, and he wants to print just few copies of it, and he said it's going to cost him 100,000, and he has been going around for a long time now. He cannot raise the 100,000 to print those few copies in order to take it to companies where he will expect that there will be sponsorship. So these are challenges that are facing the youth in our time. We need to consciously appeal to our fathers. We are not trying to push them out of the state, but we need to consciously appeal to some of our fathers to please step down. Now, in this country, I think people retire at the age of 60 years. And they say not just 60 years. If you have put in 35 years before you get to that age of 60, even though you are 50 years, you are due for retirement. Yes. Then, if that be the case, why should 80-something years person still be? But me telling you that he's a career politician and he's still there. When is he going to retire? Somebody who has been a minister before is coming in to be a minister again. Is somebody who has been a governor before is coming in to be a senator again. And so you begin to wonder, when are these people going to step aside for the youth to participate? Do you know there's law of diminishing return? You talk about some of our leaders that did well in the past for this very nation. You talked about that. And they started at their youthful age. People like Tony Nahoro, people like Zikiwe, people like Awolowo, all these people sprang up in their youth and helped this nation to take off. But the truth is that there's always the law of diminishing return. When you have done one thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, it gets to a point where you are stranded without knowing it, and your productivity all of a sudden begin to drop. Then there's another issue that which is biological or psychological that cannot be swept under the carpet. That is senility decay. When you get to the age of 60, your brain begins to wind up, and you cannot expect yourself to be as effective as when you were in your early 30s, when you were in your early 40s, and so on and so forth. So that is why judges, most of the cases, they say at least if you are a judge, you should be able to retire at the age of 65, and not that, because after that, your thinking ability begin to drop. The rate at which you respond to issue begin to drop. I'll be privileged to work with so many bishops since I became a priest, and I work with one particular one who became a bishop almost at the age of 68. You know, bishops in our system retire, bishop and clergy retire at the age of 70, and he became a bishop at the age of 68, having just 2 years to go. And well, there were circumstances I don't want to discuss on air that paved way for him to come on board at that age. So I was given so many portfolios in that very diocese under that very bishop. I'm grateful to him for doing that. I was the clergy general secretary in that diocese. I was
possibly because you're a young man.
Now I was this thing, what they call it, youth chaplain, that was in charge of a boys brigade, AYF, girls brigade, ASTA, Anglican Sunday School Teachers Association. Then I was a vice chairman, Diocesan Evangelism Board. I was chairman, Diocesan Manpower Development Committee. Now, so many other offices. The point I'm trying to bring out is this: 24 hours, I will walk around the clock, and when I'm coming to the bishop court, I carry 5 files, burning with zeal to make things happen. And I come in and greet my Lord. Good morning, my Lord. Well done. We tell her, how are you? Unwanya, you are here again. Yes. Say, my Lord, this one concerning the AYF, this is where we are. This is what we need to do now, so that things will get moving. Then for the boys brigade, this is what we need to do. Then for the sisters guild, or know that this is where we are, and this is what I want us to do now, so that things will move forward. On the area of evangelism, we need to launch out to this, to the field. This what we are thinking, and all that. So after going around everything, all that, he will tell me, oh, you are doing very well. Thank you. Don't worry. He say, you know, our system, our old system is slow and steady. We are never in a hurry. So I will take time and think about all these issues, and I will get back to you. So no single decision will be taken on any of the matter I brought. He'll just tell me, I will talk to you. I will think about them. We will discuss further, and they move on. Don't worry. You are doing very fine. I remember one day I came like that with so many issues. I told him how I've been able to secure a piece of land, how I had a raw battle with the principal of a school, and eventually the commissioner of education supported me, and I've gotten it. So we need to move now and go and start doing something on that very project. He simply told, oh, wonderful. You are a wonderful chap, hard working. Come, my chaplain, bring a bottle of wine. He brought a bottle of Eva, and opened it, and we drank the bottle of Eva together, and that was the end. No single decision. All
right, so we'll be right back.
The point I'm trying to make is this. It suddenly now dawned on me that age was his problem. I'm boiling. My blood is hot. But as a youth, I want it to happen, but himself is not in a hurry.
Well, I think we'll still depend on these hindrances around there, but we need to go on a short break now. I'll be right back. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying tuned with us. We've been discussing issues of youth and their participation in politics, and I've have in the house Venerable J.O. Nwaya and Mr. Azuka Ikeliane. Thank you for the discussion so far.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've been talking about the factors, and I think Venerable just rounded up on a scenario that he had, and I don't know.
I wanted to chip in something. Before we went on the break, we made mention of the systems. The system we find ourselves. But I think that the youth need to take their destiny in their hands. You look at the system we have. I remember my uncle telling me a story that when he graduated, during his time, after he reached graduating, government will give you a job, give you a car loan, you have a house. So, but now, we see that the system is no more there. The youth need to take their destiny in their hands. Like issue of participating in politics. You can do many things and be able to surpass the money bag. There's a way you can be able to pull crowd without using money. Like our president we have now, during his campaign, I remember him telling people that he doesn't have money to purchase the nomination form.
Express of interest form.
And people donated money to him. Likewise, somebody that wants to participate in politics can also do so. You have other means you can achieve that. You can apply, you can use through the social media, because mostly now the youth make use of social media to do many things. Instead of using it to do negative something, you can start from somewhere and be able to make impact. Through that, people will know you and know what you... Because if you want to participate in politics, you can't just come out one day and say, oh, no, I want to become God, I want to become a president. You must start from somewhere. And other people will see the vision you have and what you have up there that will help to develop the country. The issue of using we are in digital age. Most of the youth are very, very creative. If you look at what we are really doing in this country, most of the youth, like if you look at the issue of the person that started the Facebook, is a youth. And other people, we have a lot of talented youths in Nigeria that they can use to actually provide something or do a very positive something in the country. The issue of participating in politics, I think it's high time our so-called leaders, the old people, give youths a chance. Because most of them, they still went ahead to recruit these youths. They are the one working for them, PAs, special assistant to this and that. Most of them are the one, they will write after writing. I remember one of the senators, after they wrote, I think they wrote the speech for him, even to read the speech, he didn't rehearse the speech before coming in. When he was in the floor of the National Assembly, okay, I said, he want to propose this motion. He was just reading it from the paper. That shows that he doesn't have it up there. It was somebody that wrote it for him, and I think it's a youth that must have done that.
And why don't you give that youth opportunity
to be stand there? I think there's a factor too that possibly that is peculiar to Nigeria is the cultural background. Most in the North get involved in participation of politics right from either. One thing I've noticed is that even if they are not even educated, they have this understanding of participating in youth. They go to election. Yes, in politics, they go for elections and co. I remember in our area, at our office area here, most of these are Hausa boys that are hawking around and co. They were nowhere to be found like a week to election. To the election,
they all of them have traveled to their own state.
They have traveled. Everywhere was dry, but in the other part, in the southern part of the country, we noticed that everybody there, the youths are more of, let me go to school, come out, hustle for, and possibly on the election day, you see them playing football.
That's what I talk about.
In fact, most of them doesn't even have voter card.
Orientation that he talks about earlier is very, very important. You see, the northern youths are more politically aware than the youth from the east, from the south and from the west. I've discovered that. And talking about cultural background, you discover that in the north, there's this idea of looking up to a particular figurehead. And when that one gives an order, everyone follows. And at the end of the day, everyone is also expected to gather around his table to take from the crumbs that falls from his table. So that is the kind of orientation I see from the North. And they have used that platform very well to make the youths to know. It's like letting the youth know that, look, this thing, if you go out there and do this thing and vote and do this thing, that is where I will be giving opportunity to be in power, and I'll be able to get money to also take care of you. And with that kind of orientation, you see them, even the uneducated, the one they call Mesuya, Mereke, Meshu, these shoe cobblers, all of them participate actively. In the last general election, we are involved in election observation. I was going around particularly in FCT, and I was amazed at the zeal with which all these so-called uneducated young people were participating. They were ready to die for what they stand for. They were ready to do anything untoward to make sure that the candidate, whoever is their candidate, emerges as the winner. They were ready to checkmate any attempt to overturn the result and all that. So, whereas the youth from the east, the youth from the south, and the youth from the west, majority of them, those who were even out, those who were not sleeping at home, were playing football on the street because the roads were clear. They were playing football. Majority of them don't even have voters card. Yes, they don't have voters card. So they are not concerned. And at the end of the day, everyone is suffering together now. With the economic reception, with what is going on, everyone is feeling it terribly. And how will you now blame people? You didn't participate. If you have participated, maybe we will not be where we are now. Maybe your vote would have counted. In fact, vote is beginning to count. I know some youths have been discouraged in one way or the other. They have seen before, they grew up under the culture where politicians use them and dump them. And so many of them are completely disenchanted with what is happening in the political arena. So, but that shouldn't be the case. They should know that if you participate on the long run, that is where you will have a say. That is where you have a chance to become what God wants you to become.
Do we see the participation of youth? Do we see the results? Possibly. Let me bring this new law that the Senate has possibly nodded to. That's the electronic election. Do we see possibly maybe this can bring in youths more? Because I feel the ones that are educated, or let me say so-called educated, who sits down at home and feels that they are less concerned, maybe if there is an opportunity that for you to be able to vote on your tab, there's this program going on now that millions of people are voting through their phone. Possibly with such recommendation, will it make youth participate more?
Now, the electronic voting undoubtedly will help more youth to participate. In fact, it will encourage many more youth to participate because the youths are more used to these things, this modern technology, and they will want to do. In fact, electronic voting, if not well managed, might discourage some very elderly ones who are not too used to or too familiar with this thing. Certainly, it will encourage the youth participation. But the kind of participation we are talking about is not just voting, sitting in your house to vote for somebody. What we are saying, you advance to be recognized as a youth. Come out.
Come out and tell the people what you can do.
What you can do. Let you be the one that elders are voting for. You run the race, run the relay. Not you sitting in your parlor or in your office or just vote through your computer or through your phone for somebody who will be there to continue to be there. Come out. Let the youth mobilize themselves. Identify the active ones, the knowledgeable ones, the ones that can represent them, the ones that can take this nation forward, and bring them out. The youth should mobilize and bring them out. Let people go for offices, fight for offices. So you can start at the world level. Start at the world level. Because they say you don't just get to the top of a tree in one day. Start from somewhere. Start from the very... Look at the deputy governor of Edo State at the moment. Philip Shaibu. What is his age? He's a very young man. And he has made his impact in the State Assembly. He has made his impact in the National Assembly, in the House of Representatives. And today, he's the deputy governor in Edo State. And he's a young man. How did he start? He started as a political activist in the campus.
Yes.
He was very, very active in the campus, in the student union government, and all that. You should be interested in these things. You should not imbibe this mentality of or this idea that have been sold across to people over the years that politics is a dirty game. They should be involved. They should participate in it. Politics is about governance. Politics is about who shares the national cake. Politics about, coming together to negotiate, to demand for fairness, to demand for justice and equity. So the youth cannot leave this thing in the hands of the elders. Now, why should the youth of 30 years of age leave the stage for somebody who is already above 70? If we follow David's observation in the Bible, he said the years of a man is 70, which is 70 years. It's expected that at 70 years you should be packing your loads and luggages to go to where you came from. So now, why should the youth sit down, fold his hand, and allow 70 years old person to be planning and determining what will happen to him for the next 40 years? So the youth should be given the chance to do something. Now, I've never at any time believed that it's adulthood that encourages performance. I'm not by any means trying to sweep under the carpet the issue of experience, which they say is the best teacher. But the point is that it doesn't necessarily follow that you need to be an adult before you can perform. Look at D.T. Spieth. He became a governor. King D.T. Spieth became a governor at the age of 24 in this country. And he performed well. He did not disappoint any person. Look at a person like Dino Melaye today in the National Assembly. He's now becoming almost the only alone voice. Apart from few people like Mao Wambua and some others who are still speaking. Which other person are you really see that is really speaking for the masses and other? But Dino Melaye is on a coalition course with any force that is trying to inhibit progress. He's ready to challenge anything. And even his stand today against his own political party shows that you really need some youth there who are not interested in maintenance of the status quo. They just want things to happen positively. You see what Dino Melaye is doing on the floor of the Senate and all that. That's why I thank God that they wanted to harass him and to cow him and shut his mouth. But he came out fine and better. People now know that he's well educated. He's not just talking.
Before we just round up.
So we need youths like Dino Melaye. I wish we can have up to about 50 persons of the age bracket. Dino Melaye is just 43 years. I wish we can have people in that age bracket, about 50 of them in the Senate. About maybe 100 to 200 of them in the House of Representatives. You will discover things will change. Things will change. So when you leave these elders, or a former 2-time governor, and is now serving 3 terms in the Senate. He's an old man. A business is going on in the floor of the house. He's sleeping. He's not even concerned about what all he does is to hold the paper, and he sleeps off. Is that how we are going to move this nation forward? We need people, and such people, because of past experiences, they have stepped on one toe or the other. They have soiled their hands in one way or the other. They have entered into unholy alliances in one way or the other that has now shut in their mouth. They can no longer talk. When a young man goes to that place who have clean record, he has nothing to hide. He's not afraid of EFCC and all that. He will be ready to speak the truth. He will be ready to damn the consequences because he knows that his hand is clean. He has no carcass in his cupboard. Yes. But when all these elderly people who have been in the corridor of power for the past 40, 50 years, he has soiled his hand, he has embezzled money, he has been in virtually all government, you still allow him to be sitting down there. There are so many things he cannot do. Those are the ones who are always saying our hands are tied because they know that if they say a word, EFCC can pick them up.
Okay, I think before we round up, what do you advise the youth, as we know that we are entering the election year, we are entering the election period gradually. What do you advise the youth to start doing from now?
First of all, I think, like I mentioned before, the issue of orientation. And the youth should know that this is our time. We have to take our destiny by our own hands, by start participating in politics actively. The issue of supporting them and campaigning for people to go. You too, you can know on your own that you can do this. You have the power, you have the vision, there is platform for you. No matter which political party you are, the issue of whether you are in APC or in PDP, that is the party that is popular or not, you can start for somewhere. Youth can actually form a political party on their own and use that platform. Because we have too many youths in Nigeria. If you check the population of Nigeria, the youth, as in the age bracket, the population is, as in like you have the maximum of the population, the big part of the population is mainly on youth.
Yes.
So if we take out that position, that kind of platform, and have that vision that we can actually form our own political party, we can use that platform and push forward. That will help us a lot. And also the issue of thuggery and vandalism, we should try to channel our talents,
energy and talents
to a positive, in a positive way. Instead of using it for negative something, you can actually channel it to a positive way and contribute your own quota. No matter, even if you are not in a political party or in a politics, you can channel it and do it something that is very, maybe in terms of economy, useful. You can put it in economy, and that will help to boost. Because you can't just start and want to do something one day. You have to start from somewhere, and by that you can make an impact either in politics, in economy, no matter anywhere. You can make your mark and you'll be differentiated.
All right, thank you very much. Venerable, just in a sentence, what's your advice?
Yes, the youth who are yet to register as members of political parties should go and do so. And
possibly maybe we'll go with Mr. Azuka's advice. Let the youth come together and form a political party.
They can do that. They can do that. Though I'm not interested in the formation of a new political party because we have a non-political party. I'm interested in merger. They should think of how to bring some of these political parties together. That is on that. But what I'm saying, the youth who are not yet members of any political party should go and register. Every youth, whether you are interested in being a member of a political party or not, should have his voter's card, because that voter's card, permanent voter's card, is power in your hand. Power to determine what happens to you tomorrow. Power, now, there have been a change in the country, and we know where we are now. We expect that in 2019, people should be able to come together again, assess this administration of APC. And if they have pass mark, they should use the power in their hand to rotate them. Okay. If not, they should use that power of the PVC to vote them out and bring in another change.
Instead of clamoring for people to use the voters card, I would like to advise the youth: stand in, let people use that voters card to vote for you.
All right, thank you very much. Youths out there, you've added all this to on this episode. Come out strong to be the leader of today, no more of tomorrow. Thank you for being with us. It's been nice talking to Venerable J.O. Noya. Daddy, thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you so much.
And it's been also nice talking to Mr. Ikeliane Azuka. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we'll meet same time, same station next week. My name remains Korede Aketunde. Stay focused. God bless you.